Melachim Aleph, or First Kings, chapter 1. And sovereign David was old, advanced in years, and they covered him with garments, but he could not get warm. So his servants said to him, "Let them seek for our master the sovereign a young woman, a maiden, and she shall stand before the sovereign and be his companion, and shall lie in your bosom, so that the master the sovereign gets warm." And they sought for a beautiful young woman in all the border of Israel, and found Abishag the Shunammite, and brought her to the sovereign. And the young woman was very beautiful, and she was a companion for the sovereign and served him, but the sovereign did not know her. And Adoniah, son of Haggith, exalted himself, saying, "I reign." And he prepared for himself a chariot and horsemen and 50 men to run before him. Now, his father had not worried him at any time by saying, "Why have you done so?" He was also very good looking, and he was born after Absalom. And he talked with Joab, son of Zeruiah, and with Abiathar the priest, and they supported Adoniah. But Zadok the priest, and Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, and Nathan the prophet, and Shammai, and Rei, and the mighty men who belonged to David were not with Adoniah. And Adoniah slaughtered sheep and cattle and fatlings by the stone of Zeheleth, which is by En Rogel. He also invited all his brothers, the sovereign sons, and all the men of Yehudah, servants of the sovereign. But he did not invite Nathan the prophet, or Benaiah, or the mighty men, or Shlomo his brother. Nathan then spoke to Bathsheba, the mother of Shlomo, saying, "Have you not heard that Adoniah, son of Haggith, has become sovereign, and David our master does not know it? And now, come, let me give you advice, and deliver your own life and the life of your son Shlomo. Go immediately to sovereign David, and say to him, 'Did you not, my master, O sovereign, swear to your female servant, saying, Certainly your son Shlomo shall reign after me, and he shall sit on my throne? Why then has Adoniah become sovereign? Look, while you're still speaking there with the sovereign, let me come in after you and confirm your words.' And Bathsheba went into the room to the sovereign. Now, the sovereign was very old, and Abishag, the Shunammite, was serving the sovereign. And Bathsheba bowed and did obeisance to the sovereign, and the sovereign said, 'What do you wish?' And she said to him, 'My master, you swore by Yehovah, your Elohim, to your female servant, saying, Certainly Shlomo your son shall reign after me, and he shall sit on my throne. And now look, Adoniah has become sovereign, and now, my master the sovereign, you do not know about it. And he slaughtered great numbers of bulls and fatlings and sheep, and has invited all the sons of the sovereign, and Abiathar the priest, and Joab the commander of the army, but he did not invite Shlomo your servant. And you, my master, O sovereign, the eyes of all Israel are on you, to declare them who's going to sit on the throne of my master the sovereign after him. Otherwise it shall be, when my master the sovereign rests with his fathers, that I and my son Shlomo shall be considered sinners." And see, while she was still speaking with the sovereign, Nathan the prophet also came in. So they informed the sovereign, saying, "Here is Nathan the prophet." And when he came in before the sovereign, he bowed down before the sovereign with his face to the ground. And Nathan said, "My master, O sovereign, have you said, Adonai shall reign after me, and he shall sit on my throne? For he has gone down today and has slaughtered great numbers of bulls and fatlings and sheep, and has invited all the sovereign sons and the commanders of the army and Abiathar the priest. And look, they are eating and drinking before him, and they say, 'Let sovereign Adonai live.' But he's not invited me, your servant, nor Zadok the priest, nor Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, nor your servant Shlomo. If this matter is from my master the sovereign, then you did not let your servant know who should sit on the throne of my master the sovereign after him." And sovereign David answered and said, "Call Bathsheba to me." So she came into the sovereign's presence and stood before the sovereign. And the sovereign took an oath and said, "As Jehovah lives, who's ransomed my life out of all distress, even as I swore to you by Jehovah Elohim of Israel, saying, certainly Shlomo your son shall reign after me, and he shall sit on my throne in my place. Even so I do this day." And Bathsheba bowed with her face to the earth, and did obeisance to the sovereign, and said, "Let my master, sovereign David, live forever." And sovereign David said, "Call me Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah, son of Jehoiada." And they came before the sovereign. And the sovereign said to them, "Take with you the servants of your master, and you shall have Shlomo my son ride on my own mule, and take him down to Gihon. And there Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet shall anoint him sovereign over Israel, and blow the shofar, and say, 'Let sovereign Shlomo live.' And you shall come up after him, and he shall come and sit on my throne, and he shall rule in my place. For I have commanded him to be ruler over Israel and over Yehuda." And Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, answered the sovereign and said, "Amen. So says Jehovah Elohim of my master the sovereign. As Jehovah has been with my master the sovereign, so let him be with Shlomo, and make his throne greater than the throne of my master sovereign David." Then Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, and the Kerethites and the Pelethites went down and had Shlomo ride on sovereign David's mule, and took him to Gihon. And Zadok the priest took a horn of oil from the tent and anointed Shlomo, and they blew with the shofar, and all the people said, "Let sovereign Shlomo live." And all the people came up after him, and the people played the flutes and rejoiced with great joy, so that the earth was split by their noise. And Adonijah and all the guests who were with him heard it as they had finished eating. And Joab heard the voice of the shofar and said, "Why is the city in such a noisy uproar?" And he was still speaking, then see, Jonathan came, son of Abiathar the priest, and Adonijah said to him, "Come in, for you're a brave man, and you bring good news." But Jonathan answered and said to Adonijah, "No, our master sovereign David has made Shlomo sovereign, And the sovereign has sent with him Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah son of Jehoiada, and the Kerethites, and the Pelethites. And they had him ride on the sovereign's mule. And Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet have anointed him sovereign at Gihon, and they've gone up from there rejoicing, and the city is moved. This is the noise you heard. And further, Shlomo sits on the throne of the reign. And further, the servants of the sovereign have gone to bless our master sovereign David, saying, "Let your Elohim make the name of Shlomo better than your name, and his throne greater than your throne." And the sovereign bowed himself on the bed. And the sovereign also said thus, "Blessed be Yahovah, Elohim of Israel, who has given one to sit on my throne this day while my eyes see it." And all the guests who were invited by Adonai-Yahu were afraid, and rose, and each one went his way. And Adonai-Yahu was afraid of Shlomo, and rose and went and took hold of the horns of the slaughter place. And it was reported to Shlomo, saying, "Look, Adonai-Yahu is afraid of sovereign Shlomo, and look, he has taken hold of the horns of the slaughter place, saying, 'Let sovereign Shlomo swear to me today that he does not put his servant to death with the sword.' And Shlomo said, 'If he proves himself a worthy man, not one hair of him is going to fall to the earth. But if evil is found in him, then he shall die.' And sovereign Shlomo sent, and they brought him down from the slaughter place, and he came and fell down before sovereign Shlomo. And Shlomo said to him, 'Go to your house.'" Chapter 2. And the days of David drew near to die, and he commanded Shlomo his son, saying, "I'm going the way of all the earth, and you shall be strong and be a man, and guard the charge of Yehovah your Elohim, to walk in his ways, to guard his laws, his commands, his right rulings, and his witnesses, as it is written in the Torah of Moshe, so that you do wisely all that you do and wherever you turn, so that Yehovah does establish his word which he spoke concerning me, saying, 'If your sons guard their way to walk before me in truth, with all their heart and with all their being, saying, there is not to cease a man of yours on the throne of Israel.' And also, you know what Joab, son of Zeruiah, did to me, and what he did to the two commanders of the armies of Israel, to Abner, son of Ner, and Amasa, son of Jether, that he killed them and shed the blood of battle in peace, and put the blood of battle on his belt that was around his waist, and on his sandals that were on his feet. So act according to your wisdom, and do not let his gray hair go down to Sheol in peace. But show loving commitment to the sons of Barzillai, the Gileadite, and let them be among those who eat at your table. For so they came to me when I fled from Absalom your brother. And see, with you is Shammai, son of Gera, the Binyamite from Baharim, who cursed me with a grievous cursing in the day when I went to Mahanaim. He came down to meet me at the Yarden, and I swore to him by Yahweh, saying, I shall not put you to death with the sword. And now Do not leave him unpunished, for you are a wise man and know what you should do to him, and shall bring his gray hair down to Sheol with blood. And David slept with his fathers and was buried in the city of David. And the days that David reigned over Israel was 40 years. He reigned 7 years in Hebron, and in Jerusalem he reigned 33 years. And Shlomo sat on the throne of his father David, and his reign was firmly established. And Adoniah, son of Haggith, came to Bathsheba, the mother of Shlomo, and she said, "Do you come in peace?" And he said, "Peace." And he said, "I have a word for you." And she said, "Speak." And he said, "You know that the reign was mine, and all Israel had set their faces towards me, that I should reign. But the reign has been turned around, has become my brother's, for it was his from Yehovah. And now I'm making one request of you. Do not refuse me." And she said to him, "Say it." And he said, "Please speak to sovereign Shlomo, for he would not refuse you, to give me Abishag, the Shunammite, as wife." And Bathsheba said, "Good, let me speak for you to the sovereign." And Bathsheba came to sovereign Shlomo to speak to him for Adoniah. And the sovereign rose up to meet her and bowed down to her, and sat down on his throne, and had a throne set for the sovereign's mother. So she sat at his right hand. And she said, "I'm making one small request of you. Do not refuse me." And the sovereign said to her, "Ask it, my mother, for I do not refuse you." Then she said, "Let Abishag, the Shunammite, be given to Adoniah, your brother, as wife." And sovereign Shlomo answered and said to his mother, "Now, why do you ask Abishag the Shunammite for Adoniah? Ask for him the reign also, for he's my older brother, for him, and for Abiathar the priest, and for Joab the son of Zeruiah." And sovereign Shlomo swore by Yehovah, saying, "Elohim does so to me, and more also, if Adoniah has not spoken this word against his own life. And now as Yehovah lives, who established me and set me on the throne of David my father, and who has made me a house, as he promised, Adoniah shall be put to death today." And sovereign Shlomo sent by the hand of Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, and he fell upon him and he died. Then the sovereign said to Abiathar the priest, "Go to Anathoth, to your own fields, for you deserve death. But I do not put you to death at this time, because you did bear the ark of the Master Yehovah before my father David, and because you were afflicted in all my father was afflicted in." So Shlomo dismissed Abiathar from being priest to Yehovah to fill the word of Yehovah which he spoke concerning the house of Eli at Shiloh. And news came to Joab, for Joab had turned aside after Adoniah, and though he did not turn aside after Absalom, and Joab fled to the tent of Yehovah and took hold of the horns of the slaughter place. And the report came to sovereign Shlomo that Joab had fled to the tent of Yehovah, and see, he is by the slaughter place. Then Shlomo sent Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, saying, "Go, fall on him." So Benaiah came to the tent of Yehovah and said to him, Thus said the sovereign, come out. And he said, no, for here I die. And Benaiah brought back word to the sovereign, saying, thus said Joab, and thus he answered me. And the sovereign said to him, do as he has said, and fall upon him, and you shall bury him, so that you take away from me and from the house of my father the blood which Joab shed without cause. Thus Jehovah shall return his blood on his head, because he had fallen on 2 men more righteous and better than he, and he killed them with the sword, while my father David did not know it. Abner, son of Ner, commander of the army of Israel, and Amasa, son of Jether, commander of the army of Yehudah. So shall their blood return upon the head of Joab and upon the head of his seed forever. But upon David and his seed, upon his house and his throne, there is to be peace forever from Jehovah. Then Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, went up and fell upon him and put him to death, and he was buried in his own house in the wilderness. And the sovereign put Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, in his place over the army, and the sovereign put Zadok the priest in the place of Abiathar. And the sovereign sent and called for Shimei, and said to him, build yourself a house in Jerusalem and dwell there, and do not go out from there anywhere. And it shall be, on the day you go out and pass over the Wadi Kidron, know for certain that you shall die. Your blood is on your own head. And Shimei said to the sovereign, the word is good, as my master the sovereign has said, so your servant does. So Shimei dwelt in Jerusalem many days. And it came to be at the end of 3 years that 2 slaves of Shimei fled to Achish, son of Maacah, sovereign of Gath. And they informed Shimei, saying, see, your slaves are in Gath. And Shimei rose up and saddled his donkey and went to Achish at Gath to look for his slaves. And Shimei went and brought his slaves from Gath. And Shlomo was told that Shimei had gone from Jerusalem to Gath and had come back. So the sovereign sent and called for Shimei and said to him, did I not make you swear by Jehovah and warn you, saying, know for certain on the day you leave to go anywhere, you shall certainly die? And you said to me, the word I've heard is good. And why have you not guarded the oath of Jehovah and the command I gave you? The sovereign also said to Shimei, you shall know all the evil that your heart has known, that you did to my father David, and Jehovah shall return your evil on your own head. But sovereign Shlomo is blessed, and the throne of David is established before Jehovah forever. So the sovereign commanded Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, and he went out and fell on him, and he died. And the reign was established in the hand of Shlomo. Psalm 37. Aleph. Do not fret because of evildoers. Do not be envious of the workers of unrighteousness, for they soon wither like grass and fade like green plants. Bet. Trust in Jehovah and do good. Dwell in the earth and feed on steadfastness, and delight yourself in Jehovah, and let him give you the desires of your heart. Gimel. Commit your way to Jehovah and trust in him, and he does it. He shall bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your right ruling as midday. Dalet. Rest in Yehovah and wait patiently for him. Do not fret because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man doing wicked devices. Hey. Abstain from displeasure and forsake wrath. Do not fret also to do evil, for evildoers are cut off, but those who wait on Yehovah, they shall inherit the earth. Vav. Yet a little while, and the wrong is no more, and you shall look on his place, but it is not. But the meek ones shall inherit the earth, and delight themselves in plenty of peace. Zion. The wrong plots against the righteous and gnashes his teeth at him. Yehovah laughs at him, for he sees that his day is coming. Het. The wrong have drawn the sword and have bent their bow to cause the poor and needy to fall, to slay those who walk straightly. Their sword does enter into their own heart, and their bows are broken. Tet. Better is the little of the righteous one than the riches of many wrongdoers, for the arms of the wrongdoers are broken, but Yehovah sustains the righteous. Yod. Yehovah knows the days of the perfect, and their inheritance is forever. They are not ashamed in a time of evil, and in the days of scarcity of food, they are satisfied. Kaf. But the wrongdoers shall perish, and the enemies of Yehovah, like the splendor of the meadows, they vanish like smoke, they vanish away. Lamed. The wrongdoer is borrowing and does not repay, but the righteous one shows favor and gives. For his blessed ones inherit the earth, but those cursed by him are cut off. Mem. The steps of a man are ordered by Yehovah, and he delights in his way. Though he falls, he is not cast down. For Yehovah is the supporting one of his hand. None. I have been young, and now I'm old, yet I've not seen the righteous forsaken, or his seed baking bread. All day long he's showing favor and lending, and his seed is for a blessing. Samek. Turn away from evil and do good and dwell forever. For Yehovah loves right ruling and does not forsake his lovingly committed ones. They shall be guarded forever, but the seed of the wrongdoers is cut off. The righteous shall inherit the earth and dwell in it forever. Pay. The mouth of the righteous speaks wisdom, and his tongue talks of right ruling. The Torah of his Elohim is in his heart. His steps do not slide. Tzadi. The wrong one is watching for the righteous and is seeking to slay him. Yehovah does not leave him in his hand or let him be declared wrong when he's judged. Kov. Wait on Yehovah and guard his way, and he shall exalt you to inherit the earth. When the wrongdoers are cut off, you shall see it. Resh. I have seen the wrongdoer in great power and spreading himself like a native green tree. Yet he passed away, and see, he was not. And I sought him, but he was not found. Shin. Watch the perfect and observe the straight, for the latter end of each is peace. But the transgressors shall be destroyed together. The latter end of the wrong shall be cut off. Tav. But the deliverance of the righteous is from Yehovah, and their strength in time of distress, and Yehovah does help them and deliver them. He delivers them from the wrongdoers and saves them, because they took refuge in him. Psalm 71. In you, O Yehovah, I've taken refuge. Let me never be ashamed. In your righteousness, Deliver and rescue me. Incline your ear to me and save me. Be to me a rock to dwell in, to go into continually. You've given the command to save me, for you are my rock and my stronghold. Rescue me, O my Elohim, out of the hand of the wrong, out of the hand of the unrighteous and cruel, for you are my expectation. Master Yehovah, my trust from youth. Upon you I've leaned from my birth. You took me out of my mother's womb. My praise is continually of you. I have become as a wonder to many, but you are my strong refuge. My mouth is filled with your praise, your splendor all the day. Do not cast me off in the time of old age, when my strength fails. Do not forsake me. For my enemies have spoken against me, and those who watch for my life have taken counsel together, saying, Elohim's forsaken him. Pursue and take him, for there's no one to deliver. O Elohim, do not be far from me. My Elohim, hasten to my help. Let those who are adversaries of my life be ashamed, consumed. Let those who seek my evil be covered with reproach and confusion. But I continually wait and shall praise you more and more. My mouth recounts your righteousness, your deliverance all the day, though I do not know their numbers. I come in the might of the Master Yehovah. I make mention of your righteousness, yours alone. Elohim, you've taught me from my youth, and to this day I declare your wonders. And also, when I'm old and gray, O Elohim, do not forsake me, until I declare your strength to a generation, your might to all those who are to come. For your righteousness, O Elohim, is very high. You who have done great deeds, O Elohim, who is like you. You who have shown me great and evil distresses. Revive me again and bring me up again from the depths of the earth. You increase my greatness and comfort me on every side. Also, with the lyre, I praise you. For your trustworthiness, O my Elohim, I sing to you with the lyre. Set apart one of Israel, my lips shout for joy when I sing to you, even my being, which you have redeemed. My tongue too utters your righteousness all day long. For those who have been seeking my evil have been put to shame, have become abashed. And Psalm 94. O Yehovah, El of vengeance, O El of vengeance, shine forth. Raise yourself up, O Judge of the earth, render punishment to the proud. Yehovah, how long are the wrong going to exult? They pour forth words, they speak arrogantly. All the workers of wickedness boast in themselves. They crush your people, O Yehovah, and they afflict your inheritance. They kill the widow and the sojourner and murder the fatherless. Yet they say, Yah does not see, and the Elohim of Yaakov pays no heed. Take heed, you senseless among the people, and you fools, when would you become wise? He who planted the ear, does he not hear? He who formed the eye, does he not see? He who disciplines the nations, does he not reprove the one teaching man knowledge? Yehovah knows the thoughts of man, that they are but a breath. Blessed is the man you discipline, O Yah, and instruct out of your Torah, to give him rest from the days of evil, until the pit is dug for the wrong. For Yehovah does not leave his people. nor does he forsake his inheritance. For right ruling returns man to righteousness, and all the upright in heart follow it. Who would rise up for me against evildoers? Who would stand up for me against the workers of wickedness? If Yehovah had not been my help, my being would soon have settled in silence. When I said, my foot has slipped, your loving commitment, O Yehovah, supported me. When anxiety was great within me, your comforts delighted my being. Would a throne of destruction, which devises trouble by law, be joined with you? They band together against the life of the righteous and declare innocent blood wrong. But Yehovah is my defense and my Elohim, the rock of my refuge, and brings back on them their own wickedness and cuts them off in their own wrongdoing. Yehovah, our Elohim, does cut them off.